Chin up, Philip. Hello, you. How we doing, folks? It's Sunday night, and we're here for your Tombship Interment Delight. And tonight, guys, we're here to tackle Tombship, a story in the Big Finish main range for Peter Davison's Fifth Doctor and Sarah Sutton as Nyssa, where we have treasure hunts and families galore with puzzles and cryptic messages to boot. What do we think of that? Well, you're about to find out. Before we get to that, let's get to this. It's your usual panel for this evening. It's the Thunder from Down Under. There we go, it's a Monday morning. How are you doing, AJ?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you, mate. Joining us from NYC, he's just pissed off his arm. Well, how goes it?
Hey now, fuck you, Giants.
Yeah, and I echo that sentiment this week because they just done me a 600 quid. Bastards.
Oh, no.
All the way from Tottenham, it's Philip Archer. How are we doing, Phil?
Do you want to buy 600 quid? No, I'm only joking.
No,
Good evening.
You're the same, mate. All the way from Corpus Christi. Yes, a beer that must be feared. Shouting on a Sunday, it's Texas Stonewall. How are we doing, Timbo?
Hello there.
Good to have you, mate. So, guys, Tombship. This was decent for me. No outstanding, decent. But I'm interested in terms of what you guys think. All right, can I get your opening thoughts on Tombship, please, Will? Pete Davison and Sarah Sutton.
It's not a bad story, but when you get into the third and fourth chapters, you sort of you sort of a surprise appearance of a character who appeared in the previous story shows up. So by accident, we jumped into the second part of what might be of this character's appearance. Thank you, Phil. And so it's not a bad, but the funny thing is the TARDIS once again sets the Doctor and his companion someplace that he intentionally wanted to be in, which was you could say it was a floating pyramid or something like that, a tomb. And of course they run into these characters that think that it has hidden treasure for them to make a fortune out of, and then we find out that the leader of these these treasure hunters, or their mother, like that.
The mother, yeah.
Has been doing it a bunch of times and sacrificing a bunch of her kids just to get her treasure. So it was unusual. Even though it flows real quickly because from one chapter to the other it keeps flowing, and so like you don't say like days or week has passed by as we has done in other audios. So it continually flows with it. So it's not a bad thing. But it shows right here how one person's greed could have sacrificed not only everybody that was there, but also the surrounding planets when that thing was in there was floating above in space, could have destroyed all those planets like that. And that was really a shocking thing to do. Of course, later on we find out that one or two of our previous children are still alive there like that. So and thank goodness the Doctor was help at the end let them escape with him like that, and for him to drop them off somewhere. Yeah. But it's not a bad story like that. But thanks to Phil, we jumped into a second story of a 3-part arc.
Well, no, I don't even know if it's an arc. It just happens to be that.
Not necessarily, because there's only one character. It's not about the story.
All right. We'll get to that character in a minute. The woman who sounds like a guy, blah blah blah. But the mother, was it Verna?
Verna, that was her name. Verna.
Yeah, who played her?
Eve Kopp.
Yeah, what a bitch she was, man. Was she a treasure hunter, or was she the greatest whore in the galaxy with the amount of kids she had floating about? I'm trying to.
Well, I don't think that species was humanoid, so.
Well, by the time you go to the 10th kid, it probably slipped a twirl on the way out, you know. So yeah, there you go. All right, Tim, opening thoughts for you on this one, mate. Tombship.
Well, I think it's like you said in your intro. It wasn't outstanding, but it wasn't bad either. It was just kind of middle of the road.
Yeah.
By the numbers kind of story. I would say probably one of the most interesting things about it was when that character showed up in episode 3 from the previous story, which we haven't listened to. Just because obviously the Doctor's once again had a stowaway, which is always kind of fun. And so I guess she's a sort of mini companion for this trilogy because she'll appear in the next one as well. Yeah, I think the villain was just too over the top to be real. I mean, she was just such a harpy And you would think her kids would have wised up by that time, you know, said, you know what, our mom's crazy and we need to get rid of her because she's just insane. Because I mean, how many kids is she going to go through before they start to realize that this isn't a good job, you know? But yeah, it was all right. Like Will said, it went pretty fast. I mean, it didn't drag anywhere. Yeah. But again, overall, it wasn't that impressive of a story, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I mean, it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
Okay, I concur, mate. And just while we're on the kids, what was the name of the daughter? Was it Gigi or Jeannie or
Johnny,
and played by
Amy Eubank.
Yeah, she was the mysterious voice in the computer at the start of the story, who basically kicked all the events into motion by, let's say, half-brothers going missing or being decapitated or being slipped into walls. So that was an interesting concept. Phil, you kind of warned us about this in advance, mate, and looks like by the numbers you might have been right, but opening thoughts, Twinship?
Opening thoughts. You know what? The two between Will and Tim, you both succinctly told us the whole story, which is fine. And I kind of liked it, because I listened to it again today, just to refresh. I kind of enjoyed it. And I will say, I would agree with Tim, that mother is an old yakking harpy. She don't care about no one but her own interests. And like Tim says, I don't know how the children, as she calls them, don't twig that she sacrifices them for her own ends, and they're just cannon fodder to it.
To be fair, I think there was one of them who was kind of wise to it, but just went along with the road. Yeah.
Was it Mur?
Was it Mur?
Yeah.
It took long enough. I mean, they really were a bunch of red shirts.
Yeah, it was like the Three Stooges, man, wasn't it? Or was there four of them? However many there was. Who was the brothers? You had
Mur, he was played by Ben Porter.
Yep.
Ben Porter. And then you had Hef. By Jonathan Forbes. Hisco by James Hayward.
Oh, yeah, Hisco.
And I think you had another one named Rick by Phil.
He died early, the old man. Yeah. Hisco, he was the cowboy one that was stuck with Nyssa, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
okay.
You know what? How stupid are those children or the boys when the missing sister tells him to walk underneath the falling block thing, then it will let you pass, and he's like, okay, 1, 2, wash. I thought, you stupid numbskull, what's wrong with you?
There you go.
I like the fight between the mother and the daughter. When they finally meet up, that was kind of
cat fight, yeah.
And I also like how when this is trapped in that force field, it felt like she was having sex all the time. It's like,
The views of Philip Art's not necessarily the views of everyone on the audio podcast.
She's not very good at making it sound like she's in pain. She sounds like she's having a good time, basically. So that was one of my funny parts.
It would have been a hell of a lot worse had there been a vibrating sound. AJ, Twinship, what were the thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I agree with everyone else. It was a good story. It wasn't great or bad. To me, the mum and the kids, they reminded me of the Beagle Boys from DuckTales.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah! I should have thought of that, the Beagle Boys.
Mark Beagle, yeah.
I'm amazed that they have slapping sounds of them slapping each other over the back of the head or something.
She did hit one in chapter 4. She hit one. Well, the door's open. Psh, go check what happened there.
But to me, this almost felt like it was like a dry comedy. Or a black comedy in a way, with a bit of a archaeology twist to it.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a pretty good story. I wish they had Tegan in there, because Tegan would have been like, oh, this is like Indiana Jones, and Nyssa would have been like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, she wouldn't have shut her mouth with some of them in there, man, there we go. Yeah, great analogy with the Beagle Boys for DuckTales, man. That's exactly what I was thinking. Listen to this thing, man. Although Ma Beagle had a bit more brains than this woman. Greatest whore in the galaxy, as I call it. I'm sorry, man, but was it ever specified if these were actually her legit kids or whether they were adopted?
They were her legit kids.
Jesus Christ, man.
She'd been married more than one time. The daughter argued with her about that.
She's more than screwed by them one time, that's for sure. But interesting concept. The puzzle-esque nature of it, with Peter Davison's Doctor having to solve what the puzzle to the tomb to avoid the booby traps, and the traps was interesting. How you essentially go to the sacrificial thing to get to the next phase of the maze and whatnot, and that was quite good. What was the thing in the tomb called? Was it the Demon King or the?
It was the king, but the race was the Arrit.
The Arrit King in the tomb with a big woman voice, sacrifice, shoes, all the rest of it. Man, that's another thing. What a hard she was. When that cliffhanger at the end of part 2 came and they had to choose between the two groups, you're like, what? Yeah.
That was very reminiscent. That kind of scenario was very reminiscent of Pyramid of Bars when Sarah Jane was in that crucible and the voice is saying, asking a question kind of thing. It had a kind of
Yeah.
very Pyramid of Mars-ish.
Yeah, there you go.
I think he was called the God King.
The God King. Well, there you go.
God
So,
King. God
King.
He was a god that was a king, and then he would be brought back as a star.
Okay. Now, our visitor that nipped in from, was it Moonflesh? Was that the previous story?
Flesh is a later story, isn't it?
All right, what's the one before this?
I can't remember, but I can't.
No, Moonflesh was before it.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a
Well,
mask.
okay. Who played?
It's not listed here. Who would play that lady?
Oh,
That'd
that's
be the
weird.
previous story.
What was her name? Yeah, I gotta go back and check. Moonfledge. I have to check. What was her character's name?
Oh,
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was her last name.
Yeah.
Moonflesh is before, and it's followed by Masquerade.
There
Oh,
you go.
Hannah Bartholomew.
Yep.
That is Francesca Hunt.
There you go. So yeah, she sounded almost gamekeeperish for Jumanji or something. Again, it's been a while since I've heard Moonflesh, but
In the stories that you're going to hear her in, if you do, she's a bit of a tomboy. She wears the men's clothes. She's frowned upon because she's not dressed as a lady.
She carries a gun.
Yeah.
so she's one of the binaries with a gun. Okay, that's fine. Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, there you go. So no, that was interesting. Her popping in. As I say, that's just a subsequent to another stowaway, much like Turbo and a few others. So why not? All right. So I don't know. As the guys have mentioned, folks, decent story. Just not the best when it comes to Pete Davidson's run, but it's by far not the worst either. So yeah, why not? If you're into puzzles and a wee bit of black comedy, as AJ alluded to, it might be for you. Right, guys, any events or characters that might have stood out for you? I know it's kind of hard because it's condensed within one time frame, but let's see. Well,
Well, of course, the daughter stands out, Janny, because of the way she survived all that time from the last time the mom came with the last batch of kids.
yep.
So her survival was pretty cool. And then, of course, she wasn't aware that in time she was connected with the tomb. You know, that's how come she was able to get that those beetle things to make like a bridge for her and Nyssa and one of her brothers could walk across. So her character was pretty good. And then, of course, her confrontation with her mom, her beating her up for a while was pretty cool. But I like that. She stood out pretty good. Yeah, the mom Verna, she stood out because you can say how much of her greed obsessed her so much that she sacrificed a bunch of kids, thinking that there was real treasure, to be found there. So that was that. You know, she stood out really much. But the hunter, as you said, she stood out a little bit. But the thing is, she only came in and you could say like for one chapter like that. So it's hard to talk about her like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. You know, these boys, for this family, they're dropping like flies, and the mother was just hell-bent on getting this supposed treasure. And come the end of the story, she turns into a freaking supernova.
Yeah.
Go figure. That's what happened. You don't listen to folks. Anything else stand out for you, AJ?
Yeah, there were some points in the story where the sound effects actually interrupted with the vocals of the actors, distorted their voices, and really messed it up for me. I don't know if anyone else got that too.
Not very often the editing's off.
Yeah.
That's strange.
But I wish that part where the doctor had to choose, who was going to die, him and the woman or the two kids. I wish the force field was like shrinking slowly, like to give them a time limit. They could have done something like that, I thought.
All right.
At just the end of the story, how the mum gets her comeuppance, being turned into a supernova.
Yeah.
Basically, that was pretty cool, I thought.
Take that, Ma Beagle, you whore. Yeah. Timbo, right now, stand up for you, mate.
Well, yeah, to follow on what AJ just said about her defeat at the end, she was fighting the doctor to the last breath. I mean, he was trying to help her. He was like saying, last chance, do you want to get saved? And she's just like, no, you're not going to fool me. Or so, whatever, paraphrasing. I thought it was interesting that Nyssa was the one that figured out that was it Janny was
the sister,
was the sister and had been there previously, because Nyssa, I guess she's very observant because she was paying attention, because you would have thought the brother would have recognized his half sister, but she had to point it out to him. I thought that was pretty clever on her part.
I think it was mainly due to the equipment that was lying around, wasn't it, that only their expedition used or something.
But then she kind of like realized, like, how many children does your mother have? I mean, kind of like, and it's like, how many of them have been sacrificed? I mean, this is suspicious. So it's pretty cool that she picked up on that.
There you go. Well done, Nyssa. All right, Phil, anything for you?
I think I agree with everybody else. I mean, I agree with Will that mother, she stood out for me because she's quite a nasty piece of work. But you can, I kind of like that kind of thing, because you don't get many female villainous in a story, and she stood out well for me as being a villain. Like I said, there was certain. I like how there's quite a few different traps that are laid out for you to witness. I like that, because some of them are really gruesome, and some of them are just like, okay, let's see how they work this out, and it's good how they play it out. Apart from that, it's a good story. I did say I can't bear the story, but like I said, after a second listening, I kind of liked it. But it's like what everybody says. It's not great. It's not fantastic. It's just middle of the road. It's enjoyable to if you're in the mood for it.
All right, fine, mate. That's good to know. And the only thing I can add really is it was interesting that Janie had been there so long that she developed a psychic link with the God King. I can't really recall how the hell that was explained, but it was an interesting premise. So other than that, what the guys have said is pretty much run of the mill for this story. So
it was interesting that at first they thought she was just a bit mad, kind of psycho for being there by herself for so long, but it ended up meaning something else.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, contact. Your mother's a whore. Yeah. So so there we go. Right, guys. Open mic posting the cast. Anything else you want to bring up before we get this in the archives?
The only thing is that since in the future we're gonna have to do the first and the third to get more to understand more that new character that came in the last chapter of this story.
Anna Bartholomew, yeah,
to find out more about her like that.
Okay.
So that'd be interesting to find out.
Why not? Yeah, she seemed interesting enough. Anything else, guys?
Well, it's like Will pointed out at first, though, that it didn't drag at all, did it? I mean, it wasn't boring, which is odd. Like you said, it wasn't a remarkable story. It didn't make you go, "Wow, that was incredible." It just was kind of average, but it at least
it held your attention. Yeah,
it held your attention. It didn't drag at all. There was none of that bit where like, come on, move it along here.
Yeah.
So,
I did find it slightly repetitive because it was so set in one location, and every cliffhanger has something to do with this is about to happen, or this is happening, and it didn't really expand a bit.
That's just the formula of the show, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They have to build to some kind of crescendo.
The only thing I found a bit repetitive was the Beagle Boys, as I like to call them. AJ brought that up. Being exterminators with the flying insects all the time.
Yeah.
With their guns, you're like, what is it? Now, of course, you later on find out that was the defense mechanism for the God King, all these insect bug things flying around. But, you can maybe cut one or two scenes of that out. But again, mostly it was just background vocal.
And the Weird got name checked a couple of times.
Indeed, by Ma Beagle herself. So, I don't know if that's alluding to something with the Fifth Doctor down the road. I have no idea, because generally that's a...
She compares that Arrit code to the worm.
Yeah. So there you go. And rest assured, folks, no green bubble wrap were used during the production of this audio. Just saying. Right, guys, is that us? Well, as I lament the loss of 600 quid thanks to World Giants, it's that time again.
To read the Twitter rant of a madman in the White House.
Well, it's just that's what happens when you take a knee.
But the way now they're Will's Giants.
Well, there you go.
You noticed that too, right?
Okay, the whole of New York. Tomb Ship. Big Finish main range story number, crap, what is it, 190?
That story number?
Yeah.
186.
Oh, whatever then. See, I'm having a bad day. Big Finish main range, 186. Peter Davison and Sarah Sutton. All right, Phil, what do you rate this out of 10, boss?
I'm going to rate it a 7, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because, like I said, it's a story that you can listen to, but it's not one that you really want to go back to that quickly.
No,
really.
I'd probably agree with that. All right. AJ, what's the number from Down Under, mate?
I'm going to give it an 8. It had action, it had adventure, it had death, and at the end, Hannah thinking that she's going to travel off with the Doctor and Nyssa. So that was cool.
All right. Well, you reckon, mate?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It's like, like Phil said, it got like same thing with AJ. It got action and all that, and it flowed real good. But there's like something you don't want to listen. You put that in the back burner when it comes to if you want to hear it again like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There you go. And Timbo, what does Techie say on this Sunday?
Yeah, I agree. I'll give it an 8. Like Will just said, it'll never be on anybody's top 10 list, but it's a perfectly adequate story. So there you go.
Excellent. And for me, I'll agree with Will. I'll get a 7.5. The half a point being deducted from the 8 mainly because Jeannie and her brother that dropped off just in a passing throwaway comment and we never found out where. I was curious, god damn it. Just saying. So yeah, 7.5, decent enough. No bad story to kill 2 hours and bada bing, bada boom, get the hell out of the tune. So there we go, Tomb Ship in the can, folks. And with that, we are done for the evening. Join us next week, guys, when we shall be taking a little side short trip, duet with Jago and Whitefoot as they encounter, well, what on the cover is supposedly just the 10th Doctor, but ends up being the 11th as well.
Yeah.
And Phil?
They're just called, what? Act 1 and Act 2. What are they called?
There you go, Phil. Well done. Act 1 and Act 2 as Henry Gordon, Jago, and the late Trevor Batchelor's Professor George Lightfoot regale a tale of where the new Who Doctor was come to town with everybody's favourite 1800 or 1890s duo. So we'll see how that goes. As always to the panel, thanks for the attendance here tonight, guys. As always, guys, check out our mates on the wonderful wackety world of the YouTube. You've got Dr. Freedom, news broadcasts, and his Omega Files. You've got the Geeks Assembled crew with their movies, TV shows, and audio heads. You've got Sammy TARDIS Boy Radio. You've got Johnny Boy, Sammy Carter, what did they say to him? Mike Shadow whenever he's online. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and for the 5 year watch us, we thank you. We're getting
By the way, the audio is called Jago and Lightfoot Revival Act 1 and Revival Act 2.
Well, slap me with a kipper. There we go, bad boy. So with that, I'm going to smoke me a kipper, and I'll be back for breakfast. Good night, folks.